Hi, this is Joe again with another movie review, and today I'm going to be doing the movie The DaVinci Code. And it stars Tom Hanks, Andre Tuttle, Alpha Molina, Ian McKellen, and it's actually based on, of course, the famous Dan Brown novel of the same, which came out. The movie came out in 2006, and of course it stars Tom Hanks as Robert Langdon, who is supposed to be this famous symbologist who gets involved with excuse me, gets involved with the Christ theory in the Holy Grail. And I thought this was a very good, not only a very good novel, but also a very good movie. And the one thing they did like about the movie is that it pretty much follows the book, and which is one of the few things I like. Excuse the noise back here because it's the wind is banging on my door here. So please excuse the noise. I try and mute it out. And it's based on the popular movie, which was a number one bestseller for about 3 years before even the paperback came out. And it was still me, I thought it was going to be all about Da Vinci, some kind of mystery surrounding Da Vinci. But because it was titled as Da Vinci Code, because I thought it all had to do about Da Vinci, but maybe all it had to do with the Holy Grail and Da Vinci, or Leonardo da Vinci being part of the Piracy of Sion, and it's supposed to be a Grand Master of the Piracy of Sion. That's one of the theories about that came out of the book. But pretty much it had to do with the conspiracy theories against, or trying to disprove the Christ story, saying that Jesus Christ was actually a normal male, normal human being who made into an immortal God or Son of God, and how they went into it and having an actual bloodline of Christ to his modern day. You figure, how is that possible? And so, well, the theory is and these theories have been around for 2,000 years. So it's not something that Dan Brown magically created with his novel. I mean, it's not anything new that he wrote on here. He just took those theories and wrote a whole fictional story around it, and which became so successful. Like I said, it was a bestseller for 3 years on the New York Times bestseller list, and then became a hit film. And this film is definitely better, or this movie version of Da Vinci Code is better than what is considered the prequel, which was Angels and Demons. Angels and Demons was the first book that Dan Brown wrote with the Robert Langdon character in it, and it became because of the success of the Da Vinci Code, it became a movie 3 years later, after the Da Vinci Code movie came out, and it wasn't as good because he took a lot of stuff. Because Ron Howard, who directed both films, took a lot of stuff out of Angels and Demons, but he didn't do that with Da Vinci Code, because I'm sure if he did that, he would have did the same thing with both novels, cut a lot of stuff out of the novel that was out of the movie that was in the novel. He probably would have gone then based it, but for Angels and Demons he did that because the person who was going to Angels and Demons, the guy who was going around killing all these Catholic priests was a Muslim. And of course, since Ron Howard is a Barack Obama supporter, he took all that stuff out. So that's what one of the things that stunk about the Angels and Demons film. Now, going back to the Da Vinci Code, it starts off with a murder in the Louvre Museum, and the only thing that changed with the novel and the movie is how Robert Langdon was introduced. Because in the novel, he was already in his hotel room after he gave the lecture that you see in the film. And he's sleeping in his hotel room, and the French police woke him up and dragged him to the Louvre Museum to try and solve this murder. And that was how he was introduced in the novel. In the movie, he was giving this lecture and was doing a book signing afterwards. And the French police came and asked him for his help. But the truth of the matter was, the cops thought it was the head police officer in the film, played by Jean Reno, who was very good. All the actors were very good in this movie, and he thought that he was the one involved in the murder, which of course we all know that he wasn't. But the police thought, he was convinced that he did, and his partner, the police partner, thought that, why are we going after him so much? Why are you so gung ho and getting Langdon? I think it's apparent that he had nothing to do with this thing. It was murder. And of course, John Reno's character told why he was, told to go after Langdon. And Langdon was all set up to take the fall for this thing. But he catches up with Audrey Tautour's character, who's also a not a suburban, but she a criminologist. I think she was supposed to be in the police force, and she's supposed to be the granddaughter of the curator who was killed in the Louvre Museum. And then they found out that she really wasn't the granddaughter of the curator, because apparently that she was, and I'm giving it away early in this review, but she was the bloodline of Jesus Christ, and she was supposed to be the last descendant. And that's what you figure out at the end of the film. But it was in the novel as well. And you're trying to figure out if there really is a bloodline, if there's any other people left. And of course, they go to this church, and they go to this tomb in this old church. And they figure they had all these papers, and all this bloodline follows to the present day. And Tom Hanks' character figures out that Sophie Nauvoo, which is the Audrey Tautour character, was the last descendant of Jesus Christ. And they debunked the whole Holy Grail thing too, because they said, "Oh, it's supposed to be a cup." Meanwhile, it wasn't a cup. It was, the view of the womb of Mary Magdalene, which was one also the theories as well. That Mary Magdalene was not only Jesus' lover, but also his wife. It was one also popular theories that came out. And when I was reading the novel, the novel, people said, "Oh," because I knew there was a controversy with the DaVinci Code, and because I knew Catholic Church was making a stink over it, and I was reading along, and I said, "Okay, where's the stink? What's the controversy?" And then when I got to the part where you meet Teabing, or the Teabing character, who in the film was played by Sir Ian McKellen, and when he explained that the Holy Grail was not the cup, it was Mary Magdalene what was the Holy Grail, and the baby that she was carrying was carrying the blood of Jesus Christ, and not the cup that a lot of people thought of over 2,000 years thought it was. And so when I read that part actually of the book, so now I got now I understand what the controversy is, and now I understand. Now I understand what the controversy is. So, but that's what made an interesting movie, because it debunked made Jesus Christ into what he was, and that was a regular human being and not the Son of God. And because if he was the Son of God, how come God himself didn't attack the Romans who killed Christ, or anyone else, or to punish the whole world for the death of his son? That's why, because he was a regular human being and not the actual quote unquote Son of God. He wasn't born of a virgin mother, virgin birth, and all that type of thing. Like all the theories was, and that's what Dan Brown did in his novel. He took all those theories and he pretty much debunked it, and that's what made all the Catholics upset and all the people who believe in Christ so upset over it. Which I can understand. It's some guy writes a novel debunking, your specific religion. You whatever religion belief you have, you'd be mad about it too. Which is understandable. But that's why it made the novel so good, and that's why it made the movie so good. Because, like I said, the DaVinci Code movie pretty much followed the book, and that's what I like when a movie is based on a novel. Doesn't matter what novel it is. If it pretty much follows the book, it makes it to a good. To me, it makes it a good movie because at least it follows the book. And the DaVinci Code did that. It's one of the few movies that's based on a novel that's done that. The only other one that may be pretty close to follow the book is maybe the movie that's based on John Grisham's first novel, A Time to Kill, which also pretty much followed the book, and so did this one. But unfortunately, not too many movies that's based on a novel has done that, because they always want to cut things out or to make the movie better or to improve on what the story was. So they always kind of changes it. But the only scene that they changed, like I already mentioned, in DaVinci Code was the scene how Robert Langdon's character was introduced. That's what the only change that I've seen that was in the movie version. But the DaVinci Code, if you haven't read the book yet, and also if you're one of the few people that haven't seen the book or read the book or seen the movie, please read the book before you see the movie, because that way it'll be easier for you to understand everything. Because if you don't read the book before you see the movie, you're not going to fully understand everything. That's what happened with my father. I said to my father, I read the book just before the movie came out, and I said to my dad, you have to read the book before we go see the movie. And my father says, no, I couldn't understand the movie. I mean I could get it. And I said, yeah, but you will understand the movie better. You will enjoy the movie better if you read the book first. And he says, no, I'll be alright. And then he saw the movie. He liked the movie. And then he says, okay, now I want to read the book. And so I let my father borrow the book, and he reads it, or he read it, and he says to me, you're right, Joe, I should have read the book before the movie. And I said, I told you that. Now next time you're going to believe, and that's what he did when Angels and Demons came out, because he also had the book, and he got the book about 3 years before the movie came out. So I wasn't going to reread the book, so I gave my father the book, and said, Dad, if we're going to see this, the sequel, here's a novel reader. So my father read the book, and he liked the book, Angels and Demons novel better than the DaVinci Code. Because I thought Angels and Demons was a better novel. I thought it was a better novel than the DaVinci Code was. But the DaVinci Code was the story that got ultimate publicity because of all these Catholic groups were making a stink over it. But on the DVD, I thought the DVD was very, very, good. It has all these extra features on it, and it has, I think, about like over 90 minutes of bonus features, but it does not have an audio commentary, which I feel that more movies should have an audio commentary track on it, because it will make the movie better instead of having all these. And I don't mind if you have a making of feature on it. Or interviews with the author, which it has on here. I don't mean that stuff, but at least have an audio commentary track on it, which Ron Howard didn't do. But I thought that the movie is very, very good, and every Christmas or Easter I always take the movie out and watch it, just to debunk, enjoy the debunking of the Christ story. But when I got the DVD, they bought this 3-disc version of the movie, and it came with the 2-disc set. This is really the 2-disc set. That's what I'm holding now. But and Target was selling the regular movie, which was what this is, plus a special 3rd disc, which is a History Channel 90-minute documentary that the History Channel made called Beyond the DaVinci Code. It explains or tries to explain if any of the theories was in the novel true or could possibly be true. And of course he said, yeah, it's probably could be true, but it's never been proven. Because you're talking about selling theories of 2,000-year-old theories, or conspiracy theories. And it's been lasting for 2,000 years. Well, that's my review of the DaVinci Code. Please see the movie and also read, like I said earlier, read the book before you see the movie. If you never read the book or seen the movie, please read the book before you see this. And the same thing with Angels and Demons. Read the book before you see the movie, because that way it will be easier to understand, and you'll be able to get it, understand the movie better and understand anything better. So thank you for watching. Please like the video and comment on it. Please feel free to do so, and subscribe to my page. Thank you for watching.